welcome back to the Beach Club Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel's all about cozy mysteries and romance books, and today I'm talking about my May romance wrap-up. Now, I read a ton of books in May, way more than usual, and that is because of the Mystery and Mayhem readathon that I participated in. It was so much fun. We're going to do it all again next year. If you want the details about this amazing readathon and to follow this creator, because she is absolutely incredible, go follow Maddie from This Bookish Cottage. She has all the details about the readathon that just happened. She has fantastic content. She's just the sweetest. And talk about talented and creative. Amazing, amazing. Okay. But because of this readathon, and it was like you got points for reading, I read even more than usual, and reading is my number one hobby. So there you go. So if you're thinking, man, I can't keep up, you don't need to. It's okay. Buckle in and join me for the ride. Okay, I'm going to go through these kind of fast because otherwise we will be here for a really long time. So I say that now. I'm going to go through these fast, but you know how I am. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room. My hair is wet. I have a lot going on today. So here we are. Okay, let's get to it in 3, 2, 1, go. This video's already gone off the rails. As always, don't forget to hit the like, subscription, notification bell. All 3 of those help us out tremendously in the algorithm. Costs nothing to support us. It's a great way to show your appreciation for our videos for absolutely no cost to you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm having the best time. Okay, so let's get into it. The first book I read was The Setup. This is the 4th book in the Single in Seattle romance series by Kristen Proby. Now, I did not know that this is, I don't know if the whole series is, but this book is a 2nd gen. I did not know that, or I would have read that series first. But the hero in this is the son of the couple from Come Away With Me by Kristen Proby. You live and learn. Okay, so Sydney and Keaton. Sydney is a pop star, and Keaton fixes old classic cars, which is so cool. Okay, so Keaton is very averse to celebrities and fandom and all that stuff. The entire family of Keaton is all famous for one reason or another. There's sports celebrities, there's actresses and singers, and everybody's famous in his family. And he grew up with a famous dad, and he had a relationship with a girl, and then he found out that that girl had been using him to get closer to his father. And so he is now very adverse to anything to do with fame or any celebrities, and that kind of thing, he got burned, basically. So Sydney, her last album didn't do as well. She just didn't get the reaction that she normally has, and her label, or whatever that would be, her contract got dropped. And so she comes back home to Seattle to just spend some time away, to do some thinking, maybe some writing on her own, that sort of thing. And her and Keaton had a one-night stand previously. And so they decide to strike up a friends with benefits because they're both very into each other. The chemistry is great. I gave this 3 stars. So last month I discovered that I really enjoy romantic suspense. So I decided I'm going to find some romantic suspense series other than the authors that I knew about, which when I say authors, I really mean author, which is Catherine Cowles. I mean, there's some older authors, I think, and I'm not very familiar with romantic suspense. So if I'm leaving someone huge out, it's not intentional. I just don't know that particular subgenre very well. So I am finding out, though, because I went and found some books, and I found the Next Generation series, book 1, Saving Meadow. This is by Riley Edwards. This one I gave 3 cups of coffee to. It featured Nick and Meadow, and Nick is a real life, like the people from Criminal Minds. He works for the behavioral unit, sort of thing, and they have been tracking a serial killer, and Meadow was what they believe maybe the target or the first person that the serial killer took, but she got away. She survived. And she has some pretty heavy scars from it. And of course, some pretty heavy trauma from it. And then things kind of like had stopped. So there were several killings after she got away. And then everything had stopped. And now this person is back. And so Nick needs to try to talk to Meadow, who has talked to the police in the past, but he just wants to follow up with her since things have restarted and see if she can remember anything new and that sort of thing. And they immediately are very into each other, but she has, again, obviously a lot of trauma. She also has a lot of self-consciousness because she has some scars from the attack. And I really enjoyed it. I will definitely continue it. I gave it 3 cups of coffee. And the reason I gave it 3 cups of coffee is because it was very insta-lovey. And that's just not my thing. But I really enjoyed the overall story and the romantic suspense in the story. Next up, I read Frayed. This is the first book in the Willow Springs romance series by Laura Pavlov. I love the Laura Pavlov. I had only read the Honey Mountain series. And I read it like almost binged it. And so I was like, okay, I got to find another series. So I picked up this one. This one is like bad boy meets good girl. And I loved it. I gave it 5 cups of coffee. Not because that's normally a trope I love. I just really, really enjoyed this story. And I'm so surprised because this is high school. Now, let me tell you, I do not like high school. I do not like college because I've been out of college for, excuse me. That many years. Can you believe that? I know. So, sometimes the younger books like that make me feel icky. I'm only talking about my perspective. So, if you enjoyed them, perfect. And so when I started this, I thought that I knew they were in high school right away, but I thought there would be a jump in time. Like I thought that was going to be the prologue and then I was going to turn a couple chapters later. It was going to be like a 10-year jump or something. Nope. Okay. But by that point I was already hooked. There was a lot of meat and bones to this. I really, really loved it. So, the bad boy is, the star quarterback, and that's really, what he has going for him or that he feels in life because he's otherwise from the wrong side of the tracks in terms of his socioeconomic status and stuff. And so he's definitely not like the king of the school, except that he has that football skill going for him. Well, he's been definitely scouted by some major schools and he knows that he needs to keep his nose clean and his nose in the books and not worry about any of the high school drama because otherwise his, scholarship could be taken away in an instant. And that is his ticket to something different. And so he kind of keeps to himself. But our main girl, what was our girl's name? I can't remember. I didn't write it down. I apologize. Our heroine, she was dating another guy on the football team. The guy that she was dating on the football team is the quintessential rich boy in town. So, and she is too. She's the mayor's daughter. But what I'm saying is so her mom and this boy's mom have been best friends forever. They want their kids to be married, blah, 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 blah. And no matter what he did, both moms were like, well, boys will just be boys. So it is a little gut-wrenching at points. You're like, eh. But the crux of this story is the response to that. So I really did enjoy it. I gave it 5 cups of coffee. Next up, I read Engaged to the EMT. This is the 3rd book in the Blue Collar Brothers romance series by Piper Rayne. I gave this 3 cups of coffee. I do love this series. This is Luca and Lauren. We've been seeing Luca and Lauren dance around each other forever in this series. So they start out, they're very much, I wouldn't say enemies to lovers, but they're rivals. But clearly, at the heart of the matter, they both like each other. I mean, I think that's been clear for 3 books. So what happens is Luca's parents have been heavily involved in this series. We've seen his 2 other brothers find partners, and so we've seen his parents several times. Well, his mother is sick, and she's going to have an operation, and he wants to make sure that his mother thinks that he's going to have a wife and kids because that's very important to his mom. She's like, I want to see my boys married and happy and taken care of, that sort of thing. I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just telling you that's how the book is. Okay, so he asked Lauren, hey, let's put our differences aside, and can you play my fake fiance? Just so my mother can go into surgery at peace, knowing that all of her boys have found mates and all of this stuff. Okay, so they decide to fake it. They have to fake it for longer than usual, or longer than they thought. And of course, along the way, they fall in love. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. I've been waiting on their story. I gave it 3 cups of coffee. Next up, I read what book number is this? The 3rd book in the Nest. This is Mr. Swoony. This is by Piper Rayne as well. I am loving the Nest series. This one was my least favorite of the series. I gave it 3 cups of coffee though. I still really enjoyed it. I loved the couple, Connor and Eloise. But that's how you know I really did love the couple, because I remember their names. But it was just the overall storyline. So Eloise meets Connor at her bachelorette party. And Connor storms into, they have a really nice night. They definitely have a connection. They're really into each other, but she's supposed to be getting married like the following week. He busts into the wedding and he's like, hey, yo, I object. And it kind of goes from there. Now, granted, I do think that her and her fiance were not the best match. I don't think either of them really wanted to get married. I think they were getting married for purposes. He wanted a trophy wife, and she was from the right side of the tracks, and he is a very uppity person in society, and his family is, and they felt like that was a good match for him, and that sort of thing. And, so I'm not saying that the wedding not happening was a bad thing, because it was good that the wedding did not happen. Neither of them really were in it. But I just didn't like that aspect of it. I thought they could have met any other time. It's just a personal preference. I gave it 3 cups of coffee. I love this series, and I can't wait for the next one. The next one is my most anticipated of the series, because it is, what is his name? I can't remember his name. Tweety? I can't remember what they call him. They always call him by his nickname. But he's the one that is always, I don't believe in love. I don't believe in marriage. And everybody else has got their story. But we've known that there is a girl from the past. There's been hints to it. And at the very end of this one, or in the middle of this one, anyways, it's acknowledged that the woman from his past is about to be the woman in his present. And I cannot wait for the next one, number 4. I actually have it checked out now, so you will hear about it. Next up, I wrote Always Have. This is the first book in the Always series by Claire Kingsley. I gave this 2.5 cups of coffee. I don't know if I'll continue it. Maybe I should give the series one more, but I don't know. I just didn't care for this one a whole lot. This is Kylie and Braxton, and Braxton is Kylie's best friend. He's also got a twin sister, and that is Kylie's best friend. So all 3 of them are very, very close, and they see each other date and break up and all of those things. And Braxton is very much a player and all of those things. And Kylie, I don't remember if they're both into each other when the book starts, or if they kind of realize that they have feelings for each other. I think he's always been into her, for sure. I don't know. It just didn't work for me very well, and I don't even remember necessarily why. I will probably try the second one just to give it another opportunity, but this wasn't my favorite of the month. Next up, I read Bound by Love. This is the 6th book in the Born in Blood Mafia series by Cora Reilly. I gave this one 4 cups of coffee. I really enjoy Luca and Aria, so I was really happy to see them again. But I'm not a huge fan of when authors write about the same couple more than once. I love interconnected standalones, but I want it to be a different couple. They got their story. We're done. And I understand in Mafia that maybe you do need to revisit them because of something going on in the world outside of their relationships. But alas, I still want a new couple. It's just how I feel about it. And I thought that this one, the first half of it was literally just the story again from the first time they met, but more from Luca's point of view. And I was like, why are we reading this a second time? There was new stuff that happened, but there was a good chunk of it where you were just seeing the same thing happen. And I've realized that now we get several books where we see the same thing happen, but from a different perspective. And I don't know. We'll have to take it as it comes. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. So I really, really enjoyed it because the new stuff, and like I said, I understand the reasoning behind seeing the couple again because so much happened that wasn't in the first book that was a continuation that we do need to know for the Mafia side of things. So, and I loved it. I loved it. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. But it's time to move on. Next up, I read Call Me Crazy. This is the 3rd book in the Bellamy Creek. I'm going backwards. If you didn't know, this is by Melanie Harlow. I just talked about number 4. So when I was doing my wrap up, I started from the top and I'm working backwards. So the first book that I told you about was the last book I read in the month. Okay. So I did not read them out of order is what I'm saying. Storm. Okay. So, Call Me Crazy. This is Enzo and Bianca. I loved it. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. So Enzo's parents own a towing company, a construction company, some kind of company. I cannot remember what. And his dad wants to retire. And he said he will turn over the reins to Enzo, who already works for him, when Enzo is settled down and married. And so we have Bianca, and Bianca really, really wants a child. And so this opens with Enzo asking somebody to marry him. And again, it's obviously for a fake marriage of convenience for him to get the company. And I don't remember why that didn't work out, but Bianca is like, I'll do it. Now, him and Bianca have known each other for a long time. They're friends, but they clash heads all the time too. And they definitely don't like each other. And so she's like, you give me a baby and you can walk away and I will marry you and you get your family's business. And so they strike up this deal, and along the way, they obviously fall in love. But I loved this couple. I thought that their chemistry and banter was so good. I really enjoyed Enzo and Bianca. 4 cups of coffee. Next up, I read Change on the Fly. This is the first book in the Totally Pucked Hockey Romance series by Maren Moore. I really loved it. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. This is Reed in Holland. And Reed gets custody of his nephew so his dad basically had another family. He was not close to his dad at all. And he had a half sister who he doesn't really know either. And I can't remember what happens to her. I think she is killed in a car wreck. And she had a little boy, and they call Reed and they're like, you are the closest family member because your father is the closest family member, but he is terminal. And so we can't give him guardianship. And that's kind of how he finds out that his dad is, is sick. Because he doesn't have a relationship with any of these people, but he doesn't want to see this little boy go into the system. So he does take custody of this little boy and adopts him. And he is a busy NHL player, so he needs a nanny. And his sister's best friend is Holland. And I don't remember her circumstances or why she can, but he's like, hey, will you come on the road with me and help me with, I cannot think of the little boy's name, who is adorable. help me with him and the adjustment to being a father and him being with me and all of those things. And so she does. And in the meantime, they fall in love. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. Very excited about number 2. Next up, I read number 5 in the Sutter Lake romance series by Catherine Cowles, Beautifully Broken Redemption. I gave this 4 cups of coffee, but I actually think it was 5. I really, really love this story. This is Anna and Mason. And Anna, she grew up in a very rough situation. Her father was very abusive, and when she was a teenager, she met this boy who she thought by having a relationship with him, she could be out of the house and away from her father. And they get pulled over together, and there were drugs in the car. She had no idea that he was selling. They were in the trunk, and not just like a baggie, but they were selling. And so there was a lot of drugs in the car. And he was like, well, they're hers. And so he kind of flips on her and says that they were all hers. And she ends up in a detention facility for a very long time. And her parents don't try to help her at all. They just want to wash their hands of her. Again, they're very abusive. And so she is now grown up and away from them, but obviously has a lot of emotional and physical scars and baggage. And her sister and her were kind of estranged for a while because her sister kind of was only fed and knew what happened from the stories that her parents would tell, which of course didn't put Anna in a good light at all. And so there was a while that they were estranged. And then as they got older, they talked on their own, and the sister and her had kind of mended fences. And her sister is, I think, her sister is killed in Vegas. She didn't even know why she was in Vegas or anything. She just gets this random call, and her sister had 2 kids. And Anna is very worried that her parents will get custody of these kids and what might happen to them if they do. And the kids do not want to go with the grandparents. They don't have much of a relationship with them. And the boy admits that the grandfather has hit him. And so she is fighting for custody of him, but she has the past with the drugs, and she has the parents who are lie and manipulate to get their way. And because they have a very high status in town. And so there's a lot of stuff against Anna. And then we have Mason, and Mason just wants to protect her and the kids. And this was a very emotional story, and I really, really loved it. And as I'm talking about, I really do think it was 5 stars. I really, really, really loved this one. Next up, I have my only DNF of the month. It was Touchstone. This is the second book in the, what is this called? A speakeasy? I think it's called Speakeasy. Hold on. Speakeasy Taproom by Karen Stivali. I thought I would love a speakeasy. I was very, very excited. I just can't get into this series. If you are into tap rooms, definitely check it out. Just wasn't for me. Next up, I read the 5th book in the Nashville Neighborhood, The Good Girl. This is by Nikki Sloane. I gave this 3 cups of coffee. I just really was not a big fan of the hero. We've met him before, and the author kind of tried to portray him that he had grown up a lot since we knew him in another book. And I mean, I do see areas where he matured, but I don't know if it was necessarily for the better. I just wasn't a big fan of him. I cannot think of his name. I didn't even write them down. That's how much I just kind of was like, I love this series. But so this is, the boy is the son from the first book, The Doctor. So in The Doctor, his girlfriend, after they break up, gets with the dad. Well, this is him. So, he's still kind of playing the field, and he very much is that kind of affluent rich boy that can play the field type of kid. the heroine is the sister of the boy from, is it the frat in this series? It's the one where they go and after they're kicked out of their fraternity and sorority and go and live in the house. And it's that brother. Okay, so that brother's sister is the heroine. And she is the good girl because she's pure. And I don't like any of these concepts that makes you good, because I don't like any of that kind of mentality. I know it's just a book. I'm just telling you how I felt about it. So he agrees to, I don't remember, she really is into him, and he is into her, but also he finds out that she's a good girl. And so he's like, well, I'll show you how things are done. And they agree to go on so many dates so he can teach her things. And it just didn't work for me. I did finish it because I love this series. But I don't know. I said 3 cups of coffee. I don't even know if I'd give it that as I'm thinking about it and talking about it. There was just a lot of things in this that rubbed me wrong. But I love the Nashville Neighborhood and series, and I do love Nikki Sloane. Next up, I read The Scandal. This is the second book in the Single in Seattle series by Kristen Proby. I gave this 3 cups of coffee. Wasn't my favorite, but I did enjoy it. We'll continue the series. So our main character, our main heroine, she is drunk in Vegas and she gets married to her best friend. Her best friend is a gay man who is getting ready to get married. Well, he just got married to his best gal pal. And so now they need a quick divorce so he can remarry his actual fiance. Because his fiance is like, you did what? Because I mean, obviously they're just friends. There was no like secret behind any of it, except that they were both really drunk and thought, wouldn't it be fun to get married? So his fiance is like, well, now you need to get divorced because our wedding is like next week. And his fiance is, he's a lawyer. And so he's like, one of the other guys at the firm will handle the quick divorce that we need. And so our heroine's like, fine, whatever, let's just get this done. Let's get divorced so y'all can get married, be happy, all those things. And well, the lawyer that is assigned to divorce them is Grayson. Grayson is our hero. And she expected this old man, and in walks Grayson, who is a very young and attractive lawyer. And so they meet from there, and instantly they're into each other. That's why I think I gave this 3 cups of coffee, is because it just seemed too insta-love for me. And I don't think her books are normally like this, but that's how this one felt. Next up, I read The Run Option. This is the 3rd book in the More Than a Game romance series by Anna Conwell. I gave this 5 cups of coffee. I loved it. So this is, do I know Jason? And I'm not sure of her name. And so Jason is a quarterback, and he is really into this girl who is the social media person for his team. And he has been kind of like trying to get on her good side because she does not like him. I don't remember why she doesn't like him, but she doesn't like him. And she finds out at the beginning of the book that her work visa is expired, and she'd been getting letters, but she hadn't been getting them. Through her own fault, she realizes this, and so she might have to go back to Canada, and she's got a full-time job and a place to live and a life in the United States, and she's like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? And Jason's like, you're gonna marry me. And so he kind of needs to improve his rep, but also, like I said, he's clearly very into her. I absolutely loved it. Fake dating or fake marriage or any of that is one of my favorite tropes. And this one was done so well. Loved it. So next up is the 6th book in the Calamity Montana, The Brood. This is by Devney Perry. Oh yes. Okay. This is Wilder and Iris. I gave it 3 cups of coffee. So Wilder is the chemistry teacher that was so mean to one of the girls in one of the other books. Not mean, but just very standoffish and rude, and she doesn't know why. And it turned out that she really resembled his wife who has passed away. And Wilder just wants to be left alone. And his friend calls and says, hey, can my little sister come and stay with you for a while? I don't remember what the situation was, but he was like, oh, I guess. I think he, like, you owe me a favor sort of thing. So he's like, fine, whatever. And the little sister that he remembers is not the woman who moves in with him. And he's like, oh my goodness. And this is the first time in a long time for Wilder that he's been attracted to someone since his wife passed away. And so they start a relationship, and it has to be secret at first because they don't want the brother to know and all those things. I don't know why. I wasn't really feeling Wilder and Iris very well. I don't think that their chemistry was very good. I gave it 3 cups of coffee. Next up, I read number 4 in the Sutter Lake, Beautifully Broken Control. This is by Catherine Cowles. This is Kane and Kennedy, and I loved them. I gave 4 cups of coffee. Kane, we finally kind of find out about his past. We knew that something had happened, and he's very mysterious, and he wants to be left alone and just be able to brood and work at his security company and go home and live in solitude. And then we have Kennedy, and we meet Kennedy. Kennedy, like most of the women in this book, have come to Sutter Lake for a fresh start and to get away from whatever was going on in their lives. And in this one's no different. Kennedy has a pretty intense past that might catch up with her, and hence Kane, security company, and so their worlds clash, and they end up falling in love. Loved it. I really like romantic suspense. I did not know that about myself until recently. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. I just realized I have quite a few left. I thought I was going really fast, but I guess I'm not. But I also read a ton, so we're going to speed it up. So, okay. Shoot Your Shot right here. This is the second book in the New England Bay Sharks romance series by Hannah Gray. I gave it 3 cups of coffee. I loved the first one, 5 cups all the way. This one, I didn't love as much. Did I? I gave this 4 cups of coffee. Don't let me lie to you like that. I gave it 4 cups of coffee. So this is Paige, and I can't remember his name. He is a professional hockey player, and they are married. They are very happy. They are in love. They've known each other forever, and they are having fertility issues. And he starts to believe, our main hero starts to believe that he's not going to be able to make her happy if he can't give her kids. And so he pushes her away and says he wants a divorce and all of these things. Well, like a year and a half later, they're still not divorced. And he has an accident on the ice, and he has a heart attack or something like that, like on the ice, from a hit to the chest or something like that. And so she comes and she is taking care of him because they're technically still married, and they work through things. And I absolutely loved it. It is more emotional. Really, really enjoyed it. 4 cups of coffee. I'm excited about this series because the first book I gave 5. This one I gave 4. So I'm excited to see what she'll do next. Next up, I read the second book in the Bellamy Creek series, Make Me Yours. This is by Melanie Harlow. I gave this 3 cups of coffee. It was not my favorite in the series. This features Cole, and I don't remember her name. He is a brother's best friend. He's a single dad, and they live next door to each other. I think they live next door to each other. She's a kindergarten teacher. I do remember that. And basically, she's been in love with him forever, and she sends him a sex text. I was trying to say sext. And she was like writing a story about him, like fantasy wise, and accidentally hit send. I don't know why it would have been. She was writing it in a text message. But anyways, he gets it and he's like, whoa. And they kind of start a secret relationship from there. I don't know. I just wasn't into the couple very much. I do love them. I actually love the relationship between all 4 of the guys in the Bellamy Creek, sometimes more than their romances. But I really do love the friendship between the 4 guys. Next up, I read Irresistible. This is the first book in the Cloverleaf series by Melanie Harlow. This is single dad. CFO of his company at Cloverleaf Farms, and Franny, and she works for her it's the boss's daughter. Yeah. And then she becomes his nanny, and through becoming his nanny, they start a relationship. She has been very into him, and he's like, this is bad. This is going to be bad for me, but he can't help it. He falls in love. 4 cups of coffee. Enjoyed it. I actually think it was like 3.5 rounded up to 4. Next up, I had a 5-star read. Only Mine. This is the 5th and last book in the Laura Pavlov. I hope it's not the last book. I said that, and let me take that back. I don't want to wish that into the world. This is the 5th book in the Honey Mountain series. And this is Dylan's book. I've been waiting on Dylan's book forever. So the Honey Mountain is, there's 4 sisters, and I don't remember who the 5th book was then. Is this the 5th book? Yeah, I don't remember who the other one was. I read it. Okay, well, anyways, this is Dylan, and Dylan is, what is the family's last name? I don't know, but it's a group of sisters, and she is the sister that is sassy and spunky and is constantly running her mouth about love and relationships. And anytime one of the guys messes up in the other books, Dylan is there to sock them in the stomach, put them in their place, and all of those things. And so I was so excited to see what guy they put her with. And I think that they did the best job. I think they put her with the only guy that would ever kind of work for Dylan, and that is Wolf. And I really, really, really loved them together. I gave this 5 cups of coffee. It was so much fun. Next up, I read number 5 in the Calamity, Montana, The Brawl. This is by Devney Perry / Willa Nash. Same person. It just sometimes you might find it under one or the other. I think it's been published under both. This is Rowan and Lark. And Lark is a teacher in high school. She does not want to be teaching high school. She got forced into moving from like 5th grade to teaching high school. And Ronan is new in town, and he is a lawyer. And he just wants the small town life. And so he's very excited to be in Calamity. And he sees Lark right away, and he shoots his shot. And she's like, I don't want a relationship. I don't want to be bothered. Leave me alone. And so he's like, oh my gosh, he is not used to being turned down, which was so much fun to see. And then he gets approached at his office by this young high school she's described as very emo-like girl, and she wants to sue her high school teacher for a grade. And then he finds out it's Lark. And so I don't know why he's like, sure, I'll do that, because that would be a good idea. And I think he knows it's not going to ever actually go to trial. I mean, he does say this. I mean, but he also realizes that it's a way to get Lark's attention. Although I don't know why you would think that that would be a good way to get Lark's attention, but it goes from there. I love the two of them together. I love their banter, and they were so much fun together. I give it 4 cups of coffee. Next up, I read Flirting with Fire. This is the first book in the Blue Collar series. This was my favorite of the series. This is Madison and what is his name? Morrow. And Morrow is a firefighter. This is the Blue Collar Brothers. So you have Christian and Luca and Morrow. And this is the one with the firefighter, the cop, and the EMT. Well, we got the firefighter. And Madison. Maddie has been in love with Morrow forever. He does not know who she is. She was the shy, chubby girl. I'm just saying how she was described. I'm not saying it's okay or my thoughts on it. I'm just telling you that's how she was described. So she was kind of overlooked in high school. They did have one night where she took him home from like a party when he was drunk, and they went to the park together, but he doesn't remember that at all. And so one of her friends bids on him because they know that she's been into him, and their relationship starts from there through this date that they have to go on for the auction. And right away, as an adult, he is very attracted to Maddie, but he doesn't know or remember that they went to high school together and their interaction or anything like that. 5 cups of coffee all the way. I really, really loved this one. That was my last book of the month. Man, did I have a killer month. Because I also read some cozies. Now, again, I read way more than usual. I did most of them on audio. So if you're going to ask, how did I get through so many books? Audio. And even that was like way more than usual. And all of those things. I would love to know what your favorite of the month is. My favorite of the month was maybe the one that I spoke about last, which was the firefighter. I've already forgotten. That shows you my Flirting with Fire, the first book in the Blue Collar Brothers, but there was also a couple other 5 stars that I thought were absolutely incredible. And I think most of my reads were average or better this month. Give me a big thumbs up for this video, and until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars. Bye, everybody!